Hello and welcome back to another episode of our Mercedes Sprinter camper conversion. Today we're going to be fitting our new Altro flooring into the van. We decided to go to Altro Safety flooring. Initially we were looking at putting laminate down, but reading various reviews online, looking at other videos, people don't recommend this just because of the way that the van flexes. It can crack, it can split, and it can start to lift. So we took the laminate flooring that we had back and we bought some Altro Safety flooring. We've had various different samples in the post for different types of wood. They do different colours. We'll put a link in the description below to their website. Go check out all the various different options that you can get. The piece that we went for is the bamboo. It's a deep bamboo. There's two different types of bamboo flooring for them. As you can see here, it's a relatively thick piece of vinyl, really hard wearing. It's also got this non-slip surface on the top, which is something that we wanted. We didn't want a shiny surface. Just if you get any water or anything on here, it can get quite slippy. This is used in hospitals, used in leisure facilities, used in areas where there's quite high traffic. So perfect for the van floor. We went for a darker type of flooring. There are various different light woods around and we had various different samples of these light woods, but in the end we decided to go for this darker wood. Just it's a little bit more forgiving if you get any dirt on the floor, if you've got any sort of bits and pieces that you don't want people to see, it blends quite nicely into the wood. Comes in various different lengths, various different widths. We went for 5 meters by 2 meters. That's plenty that we need to do for the van. It also gives us a little bit more that we can put up in between the seats where we're going to be putting a table. Obviously as we remove the bench seat and put that single seat in, there's quite a bit of room now in between the 2 passenger seats, so we can have that table in there, and we wanted the floor to be consistent throughout the van. So we're going to be putting that down today. We're going to be showing you how we've cut it, the adhesive that we've used to stick the flooring into the van. So let's go and get on with that. So to cut the vinyl flooring, we're just using the existing floor template, which we've kept just here, and then we've laid it down on the floor, and we're leaving a gap around the edge of the existing flooring just so we can lip up the edge of the van so we don't see any of the Celotex board or any of the existing subfloor. So then we're just using a Stanley knife blade just to run along the edge of this piece of wood. Give us a nice clean straight edge, and also that little lip that we need just to go up the edge of the van. We did try and do it in the van originally, but it was just too difficult with this flooring. It's quite thick, as you can see here. It's quite a thick piece of flooring, so to try and get that into the van, lip it up and cut it at the same time is a little bit difficult. So yeah, it's good. We've now rolled up the vinyl and laid it into the van. As you can see, it lips quite nicely up around the edges. We're going to have a little bit of vinyl up around the sides. This just protects the underneath of the floor, and also just stops any spillages running down. We'll then be running the wall panels down into here so that the vinyl lips behind them. So it fits really nicely just in here or along the back. We're going to lip this underneath the vinyl piece of flooring, underneath the ply piece of flooring, so you don't see any of the ply edges. Yeah, really fits. For the trickier bits, just in around by the doorway here, what we did is we cut these once they're in the van. We laid the vinyl out and then just pushed the vinyl into the corner, and then used a Stanley knife just to cut out the bits just in around by the seat, all of these bits in around by the door pillar, and then also the bits on the other side of the seat as well, just over in that corner. Just gets a nice neat fit, really snug up into the sides. Obviously this is the bit you're going to see the most of. We're also going to flap this piece up into the front. We're going to bolster this out with some ply and some battens, and then we're going to sit vinyl on top of there as well. This is where we're going to be putting a table post, so we want it to look the same running all the way through, and then obviously up into the cab using the existing cab mat. So next job now is we're going to be using some adhesive glue to stick the vinyl down. We're going to be starting from the front of the van and work our way backwards, then get rid of all these bubbles. We can push all these out. We're going to be using just a towel, and we're just going to roll our legs backwards, just so we can get rid of all the bubbles. We don't want any bubbles in any of the vinyl. So let's get on with that. So this is the adhesive we're going to be using to stick the floor down. It's an Ultra Bond vinyl rubber adhesive. Picked this up from Screwfix. Just going to be using a trowel just to put this down onto the wood. You need to make sure your wood's perfectly clear of dust and debris. You don't want any bumps or anything in the vinyl when you're sticking it down. Quite sticky, smelly stuff, so you want to do this in a well ventilated area. Make sure you've got both of the doors open on the van. And then we'll be putting sections down, rolling the vinyl down over the top of it, and then making sure it's stuck down. So now laying the adhesive to stick the floor down, just using a trowel with a toothed edge, laying it smooth to begin with, and then once we've got a good layer down, we'll run through with the tooth just to give it a little bit more contact, and then we're rolling the vinyl down on top towards the back, just making sure that there's no bubbles, making sure that you get everything nice and smooth going back. Not very nice stuff to work with. Hopefully it's going to stick the floor down nice and strong. To get around the wheel arches, we've just put some slits just around the corner, just so that the vinyl can form nicely around the wheel arch and just give us that lip that we need just up into the insulation. So we'll do that on both sides just to get round. So on this front of the wheel arch, on the back of the wheel arch, and on both sides of the van. Yeah, looking really good. Just trying to get it all level, nice and flat. Got no air bubbles, just taking our time. The glue doesn't dry instantly, it's not instant grab, which is really nice. So got a little bit of time just to play with it, just to get it all level up and lined. So floor is now fully fitted, all glued down. As you can see round by the wheel arches, we've done the little slits just to keep it lipped up and so that it doesn't lift. We've put a couple of big heavy weights, our 2 leisure batteries, down on the end, just on some bits that we're raising up a little bit just to keep the weight down on them. But yeah, it looks really good, really pleased with it. So we're going to leave this now overnight just to let it dry. We've made sure that there's no bubbles in any of the flooring. So yeah. Really pleased with that, really pleased with how it's come out. We've got a little bit of trimming to do just up by the slide door, but we're going to do that once it's fully dry. We're going to neaten all the edges up just so that it's got a nice neat edge. So that's everything that we needed to do today. Next job that we're going to be doing is starting to fit the bed frame in. We wanted to get the floor down before we started doing that, obviously because we're going to have pieces of wood, they're going to come down onto the floor, so we needed to get the flooring down, but that's a really good job done for today. Now that the flooring's down, we're just going to fill in our side step here. We're going to be using this for shoe storage and other sort of wet muddy things that we don't really want in the van. So what we've done is we've just put 2 down pillars just off the bottom of the ply, and then we're going to put a facing board on this side. Just here it is cut ready to go in, and then we've got another piece of ply which we're going to be putting on the front here with a hole cut in it. Just going to be using a jigsaw just to cut a hole out. And we've got a nice storage area then for putting shoes and other muddy bits and pieces that we don't want to take into the van with us. So we've measured out a nice hole size on the piece of wood. Just marked it here now. Make sure we've got some nice straight edges. Now we're just going to put a drill bit down in each of the corners, just here, and then we're going to use the jigsaw then to cut out our hole, which allows us to place the shoes into the recess. Now that the glue's dried, we've trimmed off all the edges. Our box bit is in here with our shoe hole all screwed in nicely. Probably going to face this up with some of the vinyl as well. I'm also going to be facing up this piece just here. We just put a test piece in just for now. Obviously this is going to be a full piece going across, but just face that up, and then probably put a metal right angle strip just around this lip here just so that it doesn't flick up any of the bits of vinyl. Yeah, nice neat job, all square edges. So we're going to be having our kitchen cabinets coming out over this bit here, and then this is the step for us to get up in the van. So that's it for another episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, thanks for everyone that's subscribed to our channel already. If you haven't already done so, remember to hit that subscribe button down in the bottom. Also, remember we put up a video every Sunday, so hit that little notification bell to get notified of when that new video goes up. Also, we love reading your comments, so remember to put some comments down in the bottom and we'll get back to you. If there's anything you would like us to cover in any of these videos, then please let us know and we'll look to do a video for you. Still got quite a lot to do on the Sprinter conversion, so we'll be putting out a lot more videos, so just keep an eye out for those. But thank you very much for tuning in, and see you again next time.